Okay. Hi, everybody. This is what we're talking about today. Recent and current events, restaurants to support the PTO, science fair and the science day, two separate things. No school in a couple of weeks. Read Across BES. When sick is too sick. I sent that flyer out in the newsletter yesterday. I'm just going to go over it in more detail. And then the interactive thing that you see, the SIPSA, what it's called, this School Plan for Student Achievement Goals. This is what the site council meets to create every year, but we want other people's input. So this will be your chance to give input. Okay. So, oh, it got cut off, but that says PJ Day. So we've had a lot of fun activities lately. We had PJ Day last week for Spirit Day. That's like one of the most popular days of Spirit Day of the year. So kids had a lot of fun with that. We had the movie night. The NPR was packed. If you were here, you know it. It was huge success. Except one of the speakers didn't work. But Renato, our music teacher, is working on that for next time. And then we planted trees like a month or so ago. And then many of our second graders who are in the Girl Scouts, they planted some more plants around the trees on the hillside between the soccer field and the street. And then this is Kindness Week. It's the Great Kindness Week Challenge. That's I don't know, a lot of schools do. I've been doing it for years, and this school has as well. So these are just a couple of pictures of the first grade. The first graders were doing a project-based learning unit that's been going on for a few weeks, and their culmination was these posters that they did in groups, and they're all over the NPR. So we'll leave them up for a while if you want to go look at them more closely. A lot of classes are doing this. So one class wrote like 3-paragraph, well-formatted essays. And they picked like a different staff member and they wrote a letter like thanking them. It was really nice. I got one, so that was very nice. And then other classes are doing random acts of kindness, and then a bunch of other things. There's a whole website dedicated with like, these are all the ways you can be kind, from something very simple to just like smiling at people, to, something more involved like these things. Okay, Panda Express is today, so as soon as you leave, if you haven't eaten yet, go ahead and have breakfast at Panda. Never done that before, but it's open. So either if you get access, you need either this paper, or if you just like look at my newsletter on your phone, you could just show them this part. And you just show it to them. It's the one by in Colma by the Target. That's correct. So all day today, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. I'm assuming it's closes at 10:30. And we get 20% of the proceeds. So that's a pretty good deal of the people that, show them this. So go have lunch, go have dinner with your family, and you could do it in person or you could order online. And then over the next month plus, like every week is a different restaurant. Some of them are right here in Brisbane, and then a couple are over there in Daly City. Okay. Okay, so we have two big science things coming up. In a couple of weeks, the Littman Science Fair. It's like a mini exploratorium. I'm very excited to see this. They're coming to our school, and our 3rd through 5th graders get to interact with all of their little exhibits, I guess. So I haven't seen it before, but it's very popular. The kids are excited about it. I'm excited to see what's going on, so that should be fun. And then in March, our Science Exploration Day, which is an annual event. If you haven't volunteered yet, please do. All the information is in the newsletter, and that should be a really fun day too. And Liz Larson is in charge, so if you have any questions, email her, and her information is in the newsletter. In the middle of February, we have a 4-day weekend. Friday, the 14th, we're having a staff professional development, so students stay home. And then on Monday, it's President's Day, so kids get a nice long weekend. So just make sure you're aware of that. Read Across BES. So on, I think it's March 2nd, it's called Read Across America Day. And then in last November, it was Literacy Month or Family Literacy Month. And so originally we were going to do this in November, but things got busy, so we decided to move it to the Read Across America Day, where basically everybody, reading is celebrated on that day. But that's a Sunday, so we're going to do the next day, Monday, and continue through Thursday, because Friday is the Science Day. So Monday through Thursday, where teachers are going to invite parents, and I'm going to invite community members like our board, our superintendent, other people, to come into classrooms to read to our students, whether they're kindergarten classes, preschool classes, or fifth grade classes. Reading aloud is really important. So you've seen in my newsletter, like every week for the last, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, like, here's a fact about reading aloud. It's just really important for kids, even in the older grades, for them to just hear like the tone and the pace of how like a book is supposed to be read. Even in those older grades when kids know how to read, it's important for them to hear modeling. And they're really good stories as well. So teachers are going to start inviting families probably in the next couple of weeks. So look for that. And it should be a fun time. Okay, so this is very tiny. So there's been a lot of people sick, especially this week, but like there's been patches where there's just lots of kids get sick. And so this is a really nice guide that helps you determine what can I do? If my kid is sick, should I keep them home or should I send them to school? And I was just having a conversation a couple days ago with the parent. I'm not a medical expert, so I rely on the medical experts, the public health officials, to guide me on when kids can come back. I mean, we have like specific rules, like if you have a fever or if you throw up, you cannot come to school the next day. You can come to school 2 days later. But then there's all those like, well, what if, or this or that. And I know some parents, err on the side of caution, so they keep their kids home, maybe a little bit longer than what the experts recommend. And some parents are, oh, my kid is feeling fine, they're good enough, and they send them to school. And maybe they're not fine. So again, I'm not an expert, so I rely on the public health guidelines. And so I'm just going to read, I'm going to read these top two. I mean, of course, the bottom one is seek medical care. I think people can understand, like when you go to the doctor. I mean, if you don't, read it, but I'm just going to read the top two. So send me to school, meaning me, the student, if I have a runny nose or just a little cough, but no other symptoms. I do not have a fever overnight and have not taken fever-reducing medicine during that time. I have a mild stomach ache. I have not thrown up overnight and can drink liquids without throwing up. I have a mild rash and no other symptoms. I have eye drainage without fever, eye pain, or eyelid redness. So those are just good guidelines, like, okay, they're a little bit sick, but they can go to school. And then keep them home if I have a temperature of 100.4 or higher. I have thrown up 2 or more times in the last 24 hours. Well, we have a school rule, like 1 time. You throw up once. Well, determine. I mean, if your kid is like, running around crazy and they throw up because they got dizzy or something, that's different than like, I have a stomach ache and I've thrown up. So you make that determination. But if they're like feeling queasy and sick and they throw up, keep them home. They don't have to do it twice. And then my stool is watery and I may not make it to the bathroom in time. That's when you keep them home. Any questions about this? Okay, thank you. Okay, now it's the interactive part. So our SIPSA, we have 4 goals in our SIPSA, 4 school goals, and these are related to the LCAP goals. So the LCAP goals are the district goals. And all 3 of the schools create our goals that kind of match or are similar to the district LCAP goals. And so our site council is in charge of looking at these goals every year and revising them. And so we want your input. So we're getting input from you. I'm getting input at a staff meeting coming up. And then our site council will start looking at these and making revisions and seeing what your suggestions are. So I'm going to read each goal, just so you know what the goal is. And then on these 4 tables, I've got a copy of each goal, the 4 goals. And then next to that, I've got a bunch of strategies and activities. And so some goals have 2, some goals have like 7 or 8. And what well, I'll explain what to do afterwards, but let me just read the goals right now. So goal number 1, students in Brisbane Elementary School will have equitable access to a rigorous, well-rounded, and enriched curriculum aligned with Common Core state standards that promotes academic and behavioral skills mastery, fosters achievement, and prepares them to be competitive in a 21st century global economy. Goal number 2, Brisbane Elementary Schools will support the physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being of all students by promoting pro-social behavior, teaching coping and decision-making skills, and modeling positive relationships. Goal 3, Brisbane Elementary School will ensure that our schools feel safe and will promote student learning and achievement by decreasing student absenteeism and discipline. Goal 4, Brisbane Elementary School will involve parents and community members in the educational process by providing engagement opportunities and ensuring robust communication. Okay. So, these 4 goals are kind of spread out, and then there's a bunch of like little tiny stickers that I just cut them up into small little, they were circles and I cut them up into little 4s, so there's enough room. So I'm gonna pull this one out. So this is one goal. It's got the goal. The goal is over here, and then these are the strategies. Over here is a blank space. You could ignore the title of it. It's just the blank space in each row. So you're gonna read the activities, and then you're gonna pick like the one activity, maybe all of the activities, like, oh, these are all great. But you're gonna pick like, okay, what's like the one that's like, I think really the best. Or you can't decide, so you think like 2 are just the best. Like, don't get rid of those activities. So you're just gonna put a sticker in this blank space on the 1 or 2 activities that you think, oh, those really are important. And then when you're done with that, you just move on to the next goal. So that kind of explains what I just said. Any questions? Okay, so you can make your way to one of these 4 tables. One or 2.
1 or 2, just like put a sticker on it?
Yeah.
Okay, that I feel is important.
Okay, yeah. We have more room over here if somebody wants to come over here. You could go at your own pace though. I'm not gonna say rotate now. You could just leave a pile of the back of the sticker like on the table. I could throw those out afterwards.
For each goal.
What do I do for each one?
Yeah, the things to do for each. goal.
There's so many.
Yeah.
Even more.
These 10 things.
They're all like one and this. Like one of these.
Oh my gosh, did I?
One or two.
That's what
pages.
I'm talking about. We're looking at this going,
Okay.
does this
Yeah.
match?
Sorry,
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
one over here.
is that good?
I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
saying,
that's-
force of the-
Okay.
That's the thing.
Sorry. Oh. okay.
Oh, did you have
That- that-
There's like 4
Okay.
tables.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, is this where we would like the school to focus on, or? What's strategy to reach this goal? I know, it's the one that we think that we should be focusing.
To support that goal.
We're probably gonna focus on like, deposits, we might make a couple of changes,
Okay.
but like the one that you think, please don't finish that one. That one's really good. Those two are really good. That's why I would say.
Okay, all right.
Part of teacher room. That means like. Or actually. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Just like, no, continue to.
See.
As opposed to like, I don't like spending. Right down the line. And say,
But sometimes it's better.
There's no other agenda.
Oh, I don't know. They said 6. I'm gonna. Like, Just call me between 9 and 1:30. Yeah. Okay, maybe 2 more minutes, is that good?
Two, yeah, you said two, right?
1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course, I will give you.
Yeah, it looks like most people are done, so I'll just let those who are finishing up just finish up, and then we'll move on. Okay, if people are still finishing up, go ahead and finish up, but I'm gonna move on. Okay, so I know I share this at the end of every. Now it's called Donuts with the Principal. So, so please, if you're, if you have anything you want me to talk about, please like scan this and let me know. Nobody's entered anything in for a while. I've got probably enough content for probably the rest of this year. But if there's something that you really want me to talk about, let me know. And I could move things around or combine some things. And that's it. Any questions? Okay, thank you, everybody. There's donuts in the back. Please take one on your way out. And thank you for doing this and coming today. Have a good day.
Oh, we were, okay. In case you were thinking that.